upgrades to texting?
Not right now. They may be down the road. You never know. They change the stuff every so many years. Right now, it just does SMTP. Texting would be nice. That would probably be an upgrade. And the neat thing with an upgrade is you just download. You can download the upgraded software. So when that happens, you'll probably see that come up. I think the Web's product now does texting, if I'm not mistaken, the Tritium stuff. But I don't do much programming. I'm certified, but I don't program that thing every day, so when you get to the Web 600s and stuff, I just don't know. But I believe texting is part of it. They can actually do texting. They have new graphics now that you can look at from an iPhone. This does not have that capability. This is more computer. And that's how that works. It's not real complicated. Setting up a network would be the next thing. And this one here, you're going to have help from your customer. Because this is the part that burns you. Host name, if you have one. Call this one WebStat Demo because that's the name. Domain name is webstathoneywell.com, and this happens to be the name here. That's your thing. Now, typically, you don't have one in there, or you put one in there, your name.com. IP address, this is the IP address we're actually going to when we hit that name. The gateway to get into this system is here. And the IP guy will tell you that. And the subnet mask and the DNS server if you're using one. We're not using, we have a couple here that we're using. And port 80 is our port to get into this thing. You can change that port. Don't, unless you really have to. If you change the port, what happens is you put in the IP address, you put a colon and the new port number after it, because it assumes port 80 when you're trying to get into the system. So just something to keep in mind. Unless their router does that for you. The IT guy has to give you that information. If you don't know what your IP address is, if you ever wonder how to get to that, you just go here and type in run and command, CMD. And if you type in ipconfig, it gives you your, right now my IP address from this system here is 172.29.184.138.
Are you talking about the WebStat?
No, I'm talking about the network in this building, the wireless network. That's what my IP address of my computer is. So, if you need things like the network mask, the subnet mask, and the default gateway and all that stuff, here it is. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the wire from there where they have their WebStat up and plugged in. I'll plug into that, and I'll do this. My computer now becomes that IP address, and I can see what IP address is assigned and what the default gateway and all that stuff is. And the IT guy will it's a quick way to do it. Now, when I first, I can't do that right now because I can. From control panels, if I get into networks, area network. This is the one you want to change. So you go into, probably should take a break, shouldn't you? Go into properties and click on this one here. Go to properties, and this is where you change your IP address to 10.0.0.2. And just got to remember to put that back when you're done. If you don't put it back when you're done, then you can't get into anything else. So that's how you change the address. So once you do that, you can go to the IP config, and you'll see that show up as the address. If it doesn't, then you do it again. The older computers, they used to make that to reboot, and you did that. The new ones don't. That's how you set up a network, and really, the IT guy does that for you. Say, this is what I need, can you give me that information? Yeah, they've got it already assigned. It's got to be a fixed address. Can't be a dynamic address. It has to be a fixed IP address. So on your router, it has to be one that won't change. And the login page setup, this is where we first came in. The picture that showed there, that building, I can change that and pick another picture to put on there. You can put your smiling face holding the thermostat. So when they come and do, that's what they say. That's WebStat. Any questions? I gave you a lot of stuff on there on how to update and some of the things on there that you might find handy, as well as the presentations. The website you can get into yourself. You can play with it all you want. Hopefully it'll be faster. Now we have one, since this has come out, this has been out a while. The 2007, I think, when we first came out with the WebStat. We have come out with some residential stuff called RedLink. That's really low cost, and they've adapted some of it to be more like commercial. The drawback to RedLink is that it does only up to 4 devices. So it was designed really for small commercial, 4 devices on a RedLink network. And I've got some literature on there, and I'll do a quick presentation on it. This really isn't a prestige meeting, but it's kind of slick and a neat toy. There's 2 types of stats. This is new. They have the old prestige here also. The difference is the shape. By no means an expert on this, but I do have a system in my house. And works great. And in fact, I'll call my house in just a second to see it. There's a new vision. This is the one I actually have, but I haven't put the new. I had a Prestige, the original Prestige, and then I got a chance to alpha test this thing. Yeah. So an alpha test is a test before a beta test. It's one where you determine, is this thing any good? You know, will it work? Do I? And it's kind of neat. It works with the same stuff that the Prestige does, or you can just wire it like a normal stat. Now, there's 2 different types of systems. One is the RedLink, and the other is the Wi-Fi. Now, this is now the RedLink requires a receiver. I hope these are for contractors. You'll see on the first page here that little black box at the top. That is the receiver that ties to your network, plugs into your router. Now that's put out by our security division. Red Link is a protocol that we